So we talked about this whole idea of the Bengals trading for Austin Ekeler ever since he demanded a trade in LA, right? Once he said, hey, listen, I want to be traded from LA because he wants a long-term contract worked out, and they simply have not given him what he wanted. He came out and said, listen, there's no bad blood if I get the contract, pretty much. Hey, listen, I'll stay in LA. But ever since then, there has been rumors of the Cincinnati Bengals possibly trading for him. Especially with the fact that they could go ahead and they lost Pirine, right? They could trade Joe Mixon, cut Joe Mixon, get rid of him, get his contract off the books. That saves $10 million. Trade for Austin Ekeler, and then go and draft a running back in the 3rd or 4th round, right? So, it makes somewhat of sense. Now, the problem with all this is that first off, they had to give up draft capital, most likely to go get Austin Ekeler, and then they have to sign him to a new contract. Now, with them trading, how much would it cost them to trade for Austin Ekeler? Probably nothing at all. We saw Jalen Ramsey go for a 3rd round pick. We've seen many players go for 3rd round picks. I would guess probably a 4th or a 5th round pick, and then you have to give him a new contract because right now the LA Chargers don't have much leverage with the fact that he's already publicly asked to leave. You know, because he's publicly asked to leave, it's kind of like this thing where they go into it and like, listen, the guy wants to leave anyway. We're gonna give you an offer. We suggest you take it. Now, listen, I have no problem with Cincinnati, doing this, right? Because I think, in my opinion, Austin Ekeler goes to the Bengals. The Bengals just went from a 10 out of 10 chance to win a Super Bowl to 1,000% out of 10 to win a Super Bowl. Because he has the explosiveness in the backfield, not only running the football, but also receiving, that, it's impossible to stop the Bengals at this point. You have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Darnell Washington, and now in the backfield, Josh Wiley, and in our backfield, you have freaking Austin Ekeler, then Tank, then probably Chris Evans. It's impossible to stop this offense. Anyway, though, they do go ahead and write in this article, Ekeler may find the market for a service a week one, even if he is an underpaid asset of the Chargers. Potential landing spots have been signing running backs over the last several days, leaving obvious destinations thin on the ground. Any team that does make the move will be getting one of the most dynamic pass-catching backs in the league, who can carry his own weight, rushing as well. Ekeler has recorded over 100 targets twice in his career and more than 50 for the last 5 seasons. He has gained 1.9 yards per route run over his entire career and an excellent all-around running back for today's NFL. Again, he is amazing. He truly is. I don't think anyone's arguing this, right? As of now, the Bengals will probably use one of the draft picks on the position to see if they can work something out with Mixon to lessen his cap hit. My personal opinion, right? And I love Ekeler, and I've talked about Ekeler before and how this would be a great trade. I say you get Mixon to take a pay cut, and you just keep Mixon, and then you draft a running back in the 3rd or 4th round. That's what I'm feeling like, right? But we live in a universe where it's always fun to give hypothetical situations. So Austin Ekeler is 5'10", a little bit taller for a running back, 200 pounds, not bad at all. He is only 28 years old, so he's kind of getting that ballpark range of, I say around 30 is when running backs kind of fall off. And I know Tom Boyd commented one time, said, it's actually kind of going toward 26. And I didn't really look too much into that when it came to what running back's age, was kind of falling off. But he is right. Actually, as the days have gone on, as the years have gone on, 26 is actually starting to become the new 30. It's surprisingly enough, you think 30 because think back when AP played in the 2010s and 2015s, 30 was the age that running backs would fall off on. Well, nowadays with CTE and a bunch of other problems, ACL tears, MCL tears, Now it's like 26-27 when running backs start falling off, which is never, never, never a good thing, obviously. But it is what it is. The running backs have the shortest shelf life of any position in the NFL because of the fact they're getting hit every single play, smashed every single play. It's hard to have a long shelf life when that happens to you, right? So, as you guys can see, stat-wise, man is still a monster. He's still a freaking tank. 13 touchdowns last year, rushing. The guy had 5 touchdowns receiving, 722 yards receiving. He also had, 722 yards receiving, 5 receiving touchdowns, 13 on the ground, 915 on the ground rushing. He's still an absolute monster. And if the Bengals pick him up, again, I'll say this a million, gazillion times. He would be the piece that would put the Bengals over the top to win the next 3 Super Bowls. I truly believe that. But it's one of those things, right? It's where if the owners of the Bengals, the owner of the Bengals, if they want to trade the draft capital to go get Ekeler, number one, right? That's number one. You know, that's not easy, especially for Mike Brown and the Brown family to give up the draft capital like that. Especially when you gotta look at it like, listen, we can get a really good running back later on in this draft, right? This draft class is really good for running back. So, to go get someone god tier like this is amazing, but not only do you have to go get someone like this, meaning you have to give up draft capital to go get somebody, then you have to sign him to a new contract. And most likely, based on what we understand, he's going to want to be a top paid running back. So now you got to give him more money than you gave Joe Mixon. Obviously, you cut Joe Mixon, you save $10 million. That helps you out a little bit, right? But you're going to have to give him more money to, than what Joe Mixon was making. You got to give him probably top tier running back money. Then on top of that, you already are low in your cap right now. You have no tight ends on the roster. You need to go ahead and, you need to go ahead right now and sign a tight end, plus Joe Burrow's contract extension, plus T's, plus Jamar Chase's, plus Logan Wilson's. You have so many things on the table right now where it's like, okay, give away draft capital, go give a huge contract to a running back, or worry about these contract extensions, worry about, taking care of our own players right now, and then we can draft a guy in the 3rd or 4th round who is going to give us extreme value in this league. Again, I would love to see nothing more than a Austin Ekeler, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow experiment, okay? That would be revolutionary to the NFL. The Chiefs will be shaking in their snowman boots all the way from here to Texas. But at the end of the day, it's one of those pipe dreams I feel like that simply is not going to happen / isn't realistic. And it sucks because, again, like I said, it would be amazing to see, but I just don't think it's going to happen. He's a god tier running back. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, his only problem is injuries, right? He played 16, 14, 16. This is only a year that really is the outlier. And whenever there's an outlier, we don't really care about outliers. Because we kind of take that and we, push it to the edge of the earth and kind of don't talk about it. But, I mean, again, like I said, it's just like, I can't 1000% say this is awful idea. But then you also got to keep in mind that, as it says right here, he's granted permission to seek trade with Chicago, Houston, and Carolina. Now, Houston already signed their running back, right? They already got their guy. Actually, no, wait. Not Houston. Chicago did. Chicago got rid of David Montgomery, and they got a new running back. So, they're probably off the table for going for a running back. But, as it did say in the article, the running back, the teams that want running backs are slowly dwindling, which is a good thing for the Bengals, because that means the price tag of him isn't as high as it once was if, let's say, for example, the running back, there was a lot of teams going for running backs. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I might like it happening. I might think it's going to be a cool idea. It's a cool concept to talk about. It's always a cool concept to talk about whenever you have a star player in free agency. And you're like, what if, just what if the Bengals make the craziest blockbuster move of all time and go get him? It just isn't going to happen. My personal opinion. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.